Hey everyone, welcome to another week of Nerd Herders. My name is Rich,
I'm Nick.
and we are from the Over a Beer channel. So of course we do every show over a beer. What are we drinking today, Nick?
Well, we have a cool looking one today anyway. We'll see how it tastes. We have from Bold City Brewery in Jacksonville, Florida, we have the Mad Manatee India Pale Ale. It's got a cool little manatee on there. It's got a propeller, which they usually don't like because they chop them up.
Looks like he's got cut marks
nice
on one fin, and then he's got an anchor tattoo on the other.
He's a cool manatee. We had another animated ocean character for a beer once called the Hype Whale.
Yeah.
You can check out that episode of
Beer review. He started off cool, but did not stay that way. I like that.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty.
It says
pretty good.
About the Mad Manatee India Pale Ale.
Okay.
I can't drink now because of the manatee, or I can't talk. A wonderful balance of hops and malt. This IPA is loaded with 4 hop varieties. You can expect a slight sweetness with toasted notes, a wonderful floral aroma, and crisp citrus finish. It's as bitter as a Mad Manatee.
You really can't talk.
No, I know.
You're like a manatee that's been hit by the boat. He's just like, oh.
I'm gonna get that cool tattoo.
Yeah.
Cool.
The cool cuts.
All right, so
I like that. If you want to see more of our beer reviews, you can check out our beer reviews that are
later on in the week. We'll review it.
Yeah.
Or we'll give it a rating. So check back every day.
Yeah.
Or follow us on the Untapped.
Mm-hmm. Over a beer, one word on the Untapped app.
All right. So it's the start of a new week.
It is.
Today we're going to talk about the top story in movies.
It's not movie news anymore.
It's not movie news anymore. I'll get that down sometime.
When you do it for a long time, you kind of get in that groove of it.
So this week's top story. Kind of a slow week for movie news, to be honest. I think the industry took the 4th of July off. Happy 4th of July, belated to everybody. But there was one really cool story that I think both of us, I don't know, I'm excited about. We'll find out what you think about it.
Okay.
Walt Disney Animation officially announced Wreck-It Ralph 2 is coming, and it has a release date in 2018. I believe it's March 9th of 2018. So just about a year and a half away, really, when you think about it. So this announcement came during a Facebook Live event from Disney Animation that had director Rich Moore, who directed the first one, and Phil Johnston, who is going to be co-directing.
But he worked on the original.
First credit, he co-wrote the original. He co-wrote Zootopia. He also co-wrote Cedar Rapids and The Brothers Grimsby. So interesting.
I do like Cedar Rapids.
Interesting mix there with him now. John C. Reilly was also part of the event to unveil it, and we found out a little bit of information about what it's going to be. It says, John C. Reilly said, Ralph leaves the arcade and wrecks the internet. Sarah Silverman will also return.
So the hitch. Did you watch the live stream on Facebook?
No.
Because I went back and watched it afterwards, and John C. Reilly, they made this. He did this whole back and forth, and they're like, oh, we're here to talk to you about a new movie, and John C. Reilly would walk in and be like, hey guys, you want to get some coffee around here? They'd point at me, he'd walk away, and then so we're excited to tell you about this new movie. We've kept it a secret. He'd walk back and, hey, where the donut? Just kind of over and over again. And then they finally were like, hey, John, you can tell everybody what the thing is. And just as he is about to, they say Wreck-It Ralph 2, and they say, we can't really say much, but what we can tell you is, and the feed froze. And nobody knew if it was supposed to freeze or if it was actually a problem on their end.
Right.
But.
So he wrecked the internet.
He did.
It's an interesting idea. So first of all, I love the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's a very, very, it's a better movie than it even probably, I would have guessed. I thought it was going to be an entertaining movie. It actually has a lot of heart and stuff like that. And I think, where do you go from there? If you're going to do a sequel, that was all about, in the arcade machines, how those are connected. But to really open it up into today's world with the internet and internet games, there's a lot they could do with it.
Yeah.
I've heard some interesting ideas suggested. I think some one thing that I was thinking of is maybe they'll bring like esports, like e-gaming into it.
That could be interesting
because that's huge right now and growing every day.
Yeah.
Or virtual reality, but the internet itself, it's going to be very interesting to see how that works, what that means. But I'm super excited to go back to that world.
Yeah, my one concern is part of the charm of the first one is getting to see him interact with these arcade characters and video game characters and stuff that we've all kind of grown to love over the years. And I'm wondering if it'll lose something doing it a little more present day, a little more, internet or whatever. It's like, oh, he's hanging out with the latest orc from I don't know, what are they and why are they orcs?
Yeah, there's orcs in that. I saw the movie. I think there were orcs. I see what you mean, but kind of the reason that I was as impressed with Wreck-It Ralph as I was because I was very excited by the commercials, seeing Bowser, seeing Zangief, seeing Sonic in the commercials, and being like, oh my god, they're all going to be in the same movie. And what I found absolutely refreshing and rewarding about the movie was all that stuff was cool, but it's not even what was my favorite part of the movie. My favorite part was the storytelling and the characters, the new characters that we didn't know that we were going to love. So I think absolutely all of those characters and probably some new ones that we didn't get before will definitely show up at the beginning. They're still going to be in the arcade at the beginning. And then where do you break off from there? Is there classic other characters that they might run into? Like, what is internet gaming?
That's true.
What does that mean? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what that means. It could mean anything.
Yeah.
But there's also some people suggested cool ideas would be like if there's a new updated version of Wreck-It Ralph, like the gritty reboot, and like he has to encounter like the gritty reboot of himself
that would be cool.
And stuff like that. Like that could be really cool. That's a lot of what we're getting, or the HD remake of Wreck-It
It's
Ralph.
like, oh, we're gonna, remember this franchise that you loved when you were kids? Well, we're remaking it, or we're redoing it, or we're...
And it makes total sense because, like, even you look at, like, last week, right, that Pac-Man 256 or whatever came to PlayStation, and that's an online game of a classic 80s arcade game. So you could totally see it. That's how the Wreck-It Ralph game is brought into things, something along those lines, which is super smart. But we don't know much else about the movie. What we do know is the first movie was really good. The same people are coming back to do it. And Walt Disney Animation is in an absolute renaissance right now.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to suggest that this will be a shitty sequel.
No.
Because Disney doesn't have the greatest history with sequels. We talked last week about Pixar sequels and how we're kind of burned out on them.
Yeah.
But Disney sequels, I think, have an even shakier history than the Pixar ones.
I could probably count on one hand how many great Disney sequels that there are.
If just at first thought, I can only think of one that I genuinely really like.
Okay.
Which would be The Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah, that was the...
I mean, is there another one, a Disney animated sequel that was released theatrically? Not sure. I'd have to really think about it. Like some of the other ones, even some of the direct-to-video, like most of them are trash, but there's a couple that I thought Aladdin, Prince of Thieves.
I remember
was actually
enjoying the Aladdin sequels as a youngin', but I haven't seen them since.
I honestly, I can't think of another one that was released theatrically. I'm sure somebody...
I feel like that was the big thing, I think.
Sure, there's at least one person.
Rescuers Down Under. It was like their first theatrically released sequel.
Yeah, no, yeah, that one definitely was, and I can't think of another one since. But it's cool news. Overall, we're excited, and I'm excited to start learning more about what this might be about. Obviously, I'm assuming they'll take the same route, start leaking or letting us know some of the characters that are going to pop up that we didn't expect. That's all super exciting. I hope there's some really cool stuff in there.
Absolutely.
That's this week's top story, I think.
Yeah.
So,
are you guys excited for Wreck-It Ralph 2?
What characters from the internet would you want to see?
Have they titled it? Is it just called Wreck-It Ralph 2? Or
right now, I think it's just called Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Okay.
Yeah. It could definitely get like a colon.
Digital
I kind of hope that
Boogaloo.
it doesn't. I hope that this is super successful, too, because I would love a sequel to Big Hero 6.
They should call it like Super Wreck-It Ralph. Or
Super Wreck-It. That would be cool. Or Wreck-It Ralph World.
Something.
That would be neat. I hope they do. I'll be disappointed if they don't now. Thanks.
Wreck-It Ralph 64.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so anyway, are you excited for the movie? What characters do you want to see? Let us know on Twitter. I'm at Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. Instagram, Yover_A_beer. Where all of this month, Nick is Instagramming his Nick picks of his top 30 superhero films. So the entire month of July, every day you're going to get a new superhero movie, one of his top 30, and he's talking a little bit about them. He's giving you the ranking.
A couple little comments, the director.
Yeah. So you can keep an eye out there, over_A_beer. And of course, we're on YouTube at youtube.com/overabeer. Where we have all of our Nerd Figure shows, as well as every Tuesday, our full-length beer reviews. And then on Fridays at soundcloud.com/overabeer, you can find our Over a Beer podcast, which is a more off-topic, conversational podcast between Nick and I. Sometimes Dana shows up, and we've got some guests planned for the future. So again, that's soundcloud.com/overabeer, as well as on iTunes. You can find it there. That's going to wrap things up for today. So until next time, drink up.
Butter me up.